Hi, this is Dr. Topper, Global Pharmacovigilance Director for Oracle Health Science Consulting. In this video, let's talk about quality review. Now, if you still have a person or a team that is doing quality review, I'd like to ask you why you haven't gone to a whole machine-based quality review. And the rationale is that a machine-based quality review has been around for at least 10 years. It started in the clinical space, and it has moved into the post-marketing space. So if you're still employing a checklist functionality where you're manually going and checking in and then scanning up this document and housing it with the case file, that's a lot of steps that could be reduced by having your safety database simply out of the box. This is not extra automations that you would be deploying, not like we discussed in the previous videos. This would be an out-of-the-box functionality that almost every database will have. And you can deploy this quality review. It stems from your validation screen. So you have your hard and soft validations, and you could institute a quality review validation to check for the fields. Because essentially that's what you're doing. You're seeing if the age field has it indicated in years, therefore it's a pediatric patient or it's a geriatric patient. You're doing that type of manual check. Is the date of birth computing to the right numerical score? Now, of course, you're relying on a database, it always will, but you're still doing that quality check because you've stemmed it from an archaic method that would check that in a manual basis. You're looking at if the narrative is complete, if it's up to the template that you've used. You're looking at whether the medical reviewer has signed off on the adverse event terms. So there are a lot of elements that you're looking at in the quality review in a manual function that can be set up by a machine function and then save you that extra labor. Outside of that, there's not any automations per se on quality review, but we do like to say that there are some action point triggers. So if in the quality review something comes up and you would like it to be screened by a higher member, that could be an action item. So if the quality review gives me these typical field variants, then launch an email to my manager because they have to sign off on these. These are the gray areas that we have always discussed about. Or this is a therapeutic indication that deviates a little bit from the way I normally do reports. So you can have those type of automations rather than you having to construct an email, attach the case from the safety database, and then wait for an answer. It can be done within the safety database, housed out to the dashboard of the person who's receiving it. And from within the dashboard, the person can click and say, I agree, I disagree, I want to take these actions. And it can be, that verbiage can be deposited right onto the case. And then you have that audit trail enabled. So that's an automation that exists. And certainly, you can ask for it. And that would speed up some of the processing elements. But realistically, quality review should not be driven by a humanistic approach in the post-marketing realm. Certainly in the clinical realm, you still may want to do it because you're dealing with CRFs, but in the post-marketing realm, you should be moving away from a humanistic quality review. This is Dr. Topper for Oracle Health Science Consulting. Do join me in the next video where I discuss medical review.